Welcome to Freezer Milk Podcast. I'm your host, Bridget, along with my husband, Chris. Podcast where we talk about the comedic side and serious side of parenting, life, and relationships. We are boy parents. We have two boys, Enzo and Rhett, with about a 6-year age gap between the two. You can check out our website, freezermilk.com. Also, feel free to follow us on Instagram at Freezer Milk Podcast. Thanks and hope you enjoy. Welcome back. Today's episode is a special episode because we are on vacation with my cousin, who's also named Chris. Not to confuse anybody.
This is going to get confusing.
It's going to get confusing. So, what was it like your first time flying with a 1-year-old?
Oh my goodness. You always get the scary thoughts of flying with a baby.
Right.
Because your seat's always been hit in the back by a baby or something. You hear the screaming. And that's all I expected. And it wasn't bad. He wiggled around a little bit.
Oh man, the poor woman in front of me when I was holding him, he would not stop kicking her fucking seat. Like, kick. I was like, I'm so sorry. I was in the window seat and I think he fucking hated that because he felt too, like, crowded.
Yeah.
Even though it was, like, a 3-year-old next to me, he still felt too, like, confined and crowded, I think.
Which was a good mix because you had the window and then I had the aisle and we just played past the baby across 2 seats for half the flight.
I was waiting for the lady on the aisle seat in my row to just be like, here, let me hand the baby over.
She was getting, towards the end, she was playing with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think she finally warmed up to him.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys complain about. I had the hardest part. He slept on me the entire time.
For like an hour,
up in first class.
30 minutes in your bulkhead seat because you got upgraded.
That's how we roll.
I love how, like, literally, it was probably like half an hour before the flight. I went to see, like, if we could bring his car seat on, and it was an oversold flight, so we couldn't. And they checked, and they're like, oh yeah, no, like, none of your tickets. I was like, check Chris's, check, other Chris/Cree's, check mine, see if anyone's ticket got moved. No, everyone's in their same seats. I'm like, okay, good. Because we planned it specifically so that the 3 of us all sat very close to each other, if not directly, like, in the same row, to make sure that we could, like, pass the baby easily. So we go to scan the tickets to actually board the plane. And Chris's flashes red. And she saw, oh, hi, Mr. So-and-so. You've been upgraded.
I'm like, bye.
You looked at me with this look of, like,
fear.
Bridget's gonna kill me. You're like, I didn't request it. Take it back. I was like, it's fine. It'll give him we'll give you the baby at some point. You're not getting out of baby duty. It'll just give you a chance to have the baby, like, in a new environment with new things to see. But you, like, the whole down the, like, skywalk, you're like, I didn't request it. I don't know why they upgraded me. I didn't request it. I'm like, it's fine.
That was definitely a moment. Like, normally, like, if I was flying by myself or with anybody else, I'd be so ecstatic. I'd just be like, oh, yes, this is awesome. That was a moment that I was truly terrified. I was just like, oh man, this is not the time for this.
And part of it was because what happened the day before? On Sunday.
What happened?
I was sick.
Oh yeah, you were dealing with
I was so sick. I was like the sickest I'd probably ever been with pregnancy on Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was brutal. I remember we were trying to pack and I was just sitting on the floor in the closet crying. I was like,
I had to pack for it.
Right? I was like sitting there with clothes around me and I was just like, I feel so gross. Like I'm so sick. I just gonna vomit everywhere. You were like, do you need help packing?
Well, and travel's getting so much more difficult nowadays, I think, just with the crowds and people, and I think you did really, really well, though. I mean, really.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, you still had Chris back there in the back of the plane to kind of...
Oh, God, I would have been lost without you. For sure.
For the listeners, he got row 8. We were in row 35.
Out of 37.
So there was a long walk when I took baby all the way up there.
Were you so proud?
I was hitting everyone's shoulders with his feet. I'm like, you know what? It's okay.
I ain't coming back with him. Gonna walk back without a baby. I think the girl next to me freaked out for a second because she was like, "You don't have the baby? You don't have the baby? Where the fuck's the baby?"
Baby left.
You two had the baby the whole
You
flight.
should have saw the guy that was sitting next to me when he woke up.
You
He
have
was
the
like, all of a
baby.
sudden I had a baby, and he's like, pure skepticism. Just what?
What's happening?
In what twilight zone am I?
Where did this baby manifest from? You did not have this on takeoff, sir.
Traveling with little ones is, you know, he's actually pretty great, but I don't think Enzo would do very well.
No.
I just don't think he has the
Patience.
patience or the mental capacity to get through a 5-hour flight. I just don't think it's happening.
What do you think? We got to spend some time with Enzo?
Oh, there's no way. If he didn't have any screen time, he wouldn't know what to do.
And if he had screen time, he'd be fine, but he'd probably pee his pants.
That and he wouldn't sit in his seat.
No.
He'd be all over it and all over whoever's next to him.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be
Asking
terrible.
for hugs.
Yeah.
Hug.
Just go up to every stranger. Hug peas.
Hug.
Like, we think it's so, like, weird that he does that, but, like, maybe that's what the world needs. It's more hugs.
You're not wrong.
We're just those people that are very anti-hugging.
So last time Rhett was at the beach was when he was 7 months.
Yeah.
And not...
And I almost killed him. We did a scorpion.
Nope, that was when he was like 4 months.
When did we go with him? I thought we only went once with him.
So we took Rhett and Enzo to California. And Rhett was like 4 months old, and then we went to Hawaii when he was 7 months old.
Oh, that's right. I think, you know, Hawaii was such a blur, and honestly, I don't even think he even got a chance to enjoy the trip because he was just sleeping the entire time.
Yeah, he did sleep like the entire time in Hawaii.
He was just so, like, out of it.
Because we didn't really do the beach at all. We did it the one time.
But we did it by ourselves. No, we did it twice. Cause
We did it twice, you're right. But this time it was really interesting to like take him to the beach. Because
He
it was
loved
his
it.
first beach experience.
And I actually took him in the water.
And he ate sand. A lot of sand.
Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah.
That's like a rite of passage for
He got
babies.
like the biggest smile on his face though. Like
Loved
when we
it.
set him
Dude,
in
he
this...
loved the water.
Oh my god, he loved it.
And that's why I took him in there. I was
Yeah.
like, he's going to actually enjoy this. He's not going to freak out. Like, Enzo would, like, cling to you and, like, freak out. Like,
Yeah.
I couldn't take him in the water. Just terrified.
Rhett was splashing and smiling.
Just having so much fun. And then a wave hit him in the face, and that was it.
Game over.
That was it.
He had so much fun in the sand though too. Like he just kept smiling and like playing in it. Like this is so fun. I love it.
When we set him down, you were across the street getting cash. When we set him down, he got all wobbly at first.
Trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And then he took one step, wobbled a little bit, took another one, wobbled, and then it was just off.
Oh, well, tonight at the restaurant, I took him out towards the side over there to try and get him to walk on the grass. Well, the grass out here is a lot different. And it's, like, very uneven.
Yeah.
And I took
It's
him,
not- it's
I
not
set him down.
AstroTurf.
No, I set him down.
Leveled.
And, you know, the blades of the grass are like 6 inches long. It's like very different textures. And I set him down, and he took half a step and he fell over. He just rolled. That was it. He's like, I don't know about this. So I had to put him back up on the pavers. It was the only place he could walk.
We did this in Hawaii. We talked about it when we did it in Hawaii, but we did the baby quip rental again.
Which is fantastic.
Yes. So, Chris, I don't think, I mean, you're not
Never even
around
noticed.
kids enough, so you
Yeah.
haven't seen or known. But so this time we just rented a baby monitor because the hotel had a crib and a high chair. So we just rented a baby monitor and a big, clear, like, I don't know, however many gallon,
25 maybe.
yeah, like a 25 gallon tote of toys.
Mhm.
And it has been fantastic.
No, he loves it. Pulls it all out in the beginning of the day, plays with all his shit.
And it's like it's local pickup. Like we drove to it the first night we got here. It was like 15 minutes away, and it's well worth its weight in gold because we don't have to worry about bringing a ton of toys with us. And he is just so content.
Yeah. You know,
That and the Fire Stick are like,
I'm so thankful that we packed smarter this time. Like, your stuff is so much lighter. Your suitcase isn't, like, overly expanded. The zipper is not about to break. Like, I was able to bring my small suitcase. I didn't have to drag behind me the freaking 900-pound freaking packing
back
plate.
and play.
Oh, man, we did it so much better this time.
I think so. That would be our new advice: is like a pack and play. I don't know if it's worth the investment of getting, because it's almost easier just to rent them.
Not to mention the baby didn't like it.
Yeah.
He hated it. He slept like really bad.
You know what we did forget this time, and I'm kind of mad. We forgot the like solar shade for it,
Yeah.
the
that's
blackout, because we could have put that on the regular crib.
true. Yeah, he still sleeps
This morning he got up
early.
at.
Well, it wasn't early here.
It was he went to bed at Arizona time though, so he missed out on an extra like 3 hours of sleep
Yeah, that's true.
because he went to bed at Arizona time last night. So he went to bed at like 10 p.m. Florida time, and then he got up at 7:30 Florida time, which is like 4:30 Arizona time. And that's a normal wake up time for him, but he normally goes back to sleep in Arizona. But because it was so bright in the room, he was like, "I'm awake, guys, and I can see you. You're right over there.
Yeah.
Come get me."
Chris, what have been some of the highlights for you and him and the experiences that you've had so far on this trip? Because you were here since Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday.
Thursday, Friday.
Something like that.
Whatever day.
So you got to spend quite a bit of time with him. Has he changed quite a bit since the last time you saw him?
Yeah, so last time I saw him would have been, November?
I think so.
October, November?
So he was, 6
December.
months?
No, it was December, I think.
Somewhere around there. He wasn't walking yet. He wasn't doing much of anything. He was just starting to give facial expressions and...
Yeah.
You could sit him on your lap. But
Yeah. He was just starting to sit up. But from then to now, it's...
A whole new baby.
Yeah, his personality is coming in. He's just excited about anything and everything. He wants to investigate anything that makes a noise, anything that moves. It's got to be touched. It's got to be looked at. And seeing the joy in his face when he figures something out or if he finds something, just that big smile. It's like, okay. I mean, it just makes everything better.
Mm-hmm. And his giggles.
Oh, goodness.
Man.
Throw him up in the air a little bit, get a giggling going.
He's just so interested in learning more.
Yeah.
Like he's just like starving for learning. It's very interesting to watch with him.
He is a joyful baby.
He is a very joyful baby.
And Enzo is not that way.
No.
I don't think I ever saw Enzo as a baby.
Mm-mm. Rhett is like...
I don't think I've ever seen Enzo smile.
Not true.
He certainly didn't smile after Uno.
No. God, he was so bad.
You gotta elaborate on that a little bit.
Enzo was at the house. So I flew out Friday to Arizona, spent the weekend, and then came out here. And Enzo was all excited to have an Uno tournament with cousin Chris, Mom, and Crit. Well, he was all excited to have it until Mom's Uno skills came out. And that was the end of that fun environment.
He was like legit mad at me.
He was crying. Mom kicked my butt in Uno.
He was so mad.
Yeah, he's kind of a
Sore loser.
a sore loser. Like
Oh,
I've
yeah.
noticed that that's why sometimes I don't like to play games with him because he gets so like mad about it. And I'm
He
like,
doesn't.
dude.
He doesn't really get mad about Mario Kart. He used to be a real sore loser at Mario
Yeah,
Kart.
he was.
He doesn't get as mad now.
He used to get mad at me with soccer.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, look, dude, like, we're not going to play if you're going to, like, he would, like, flip the goal over on purpose and, like, hold it down so I couldn't shoot the ball in the goal. Because he was just beside himself. He was just so frustrated. I'm like, dude, this isn't how we do this.
Remember he got so mad because he forgot to call Uno?
Oh, yeah. You got him on it like 2 or 3 times.
Oh, man. He got both of us.
Yeah,
on
he
it,
did.
too.
As soon as he learned that rule, he was on it.
And then he forgot to say Uno, and he was like irate because I also had one card left, and I called my Uno. And he had to draw 3, and I won.
Maybe you should just let him win every once in a while.
It's not how you play games.
You're just cutthroat. Just competitive.
No, like, I hate when people, like, especially at his age, like, bro, you're 7. Like, if you're, like, 4, like, I used to let you, like, win at Candyland all the fucking time.
Yeah, well.
Remember that?
You have to bleep that part
Yeah,
out.
dude, you're 7. You're paying taxes. You got a job. You can handle the
We don't
toughness
just-
of losing a game.
Oh, man, I explained a participation award to him the other day. I was like, so they came up with participation awards because kids were getting their feelings hurt that they didn't win something. So you had first place, then you had participation, aka loser. I didn't say that part. But I was like, yeah, like parents were getting mad that their kids lost, and kids were feeling sad that they lost, so they came up with participation awards. So you still got to go home with a trophy.
Yeah, I didn't grow up with those.
Me either. We're fine. Totally fine.
There was first, second, third, and maybe honorable mention.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
And the third runner-up is...
And the fifth runner-up is...
Right.
What? There's only 6 of us. The sixth runner-up is... You mean the loser? Dead last?
The first loser...
I don't know. Apparently I need to be nicer and Uno, though.
Before you all were... Because you weren't feeling good that day. Before you came out, it was just he and I. And
That was Sunday. That was my rough day.
I hadn't played Uno in years, so I was like still trying to remember how to play it and figuring it out.
Was he hustling you?
Oh yeah, he hustled me like 3 or 4 games in a row, so he was on a roll, and then you came out and just shattered his hopes and dreams.
Dude, I used to try and play, like I know nothing about Pokemon, it's like one of his biggest passions. I used to try and play the cards with him, right? And every single time, it didn't matter what card I had, how many, powers,
Points.
whatever the thing is, it didn't matter.
Somehow he still won.
No, he would always take his, and he's like, well, that, I'm going to use my green whatever and crush your purple water, your water whatever. And I'm like, how does a grass whatever crush water? Water, should wash away grass, right?
Right.
And he's like, no, that's not how it works. And I'm
Water
like,
makes grass
I'm
grow.
like, so explain the rules to me. And he's like, well, that's not how it works. And I'm like, well, I didn't explain the rules to me because I'm not getting this. So then we put an end to that. I was like, no more Pokemon.
I love when he always wants to play guessing games. Like we were watching the show and it had the multiple choice that you could guess. And
Right.
you have to guess which one, And he always will try to change it when they announce it. Oh, I changed it last minute to that.
Right.
I'm like, no, you fucking didn't, bro.
Yeah, he makes up his own rules.
Like, this is, again, not how we play games. Why do you think this is the right way? It's not how it works. If you got it wrong, you got it wrong. It's fine.
No, I changed that answer.
I changed it. No, right at the last second, Mom, I changed it. I'm like, what?
You didn't vocalize it, so no, you didn't.
This is so sad. I think why I'm so cutthroat about it is it reminds me of when Noelle and I used to race up the driveway.
Yeah.
And no matter what, she would win. Because if she beat me, she actually won. And if she didn't beat me, she'd be like, well, I'm not playing anymore, so I win.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that malarkey? And if I try to pull it, well, I'm not playing anymore, so I win, she'd be like, no, I'm still
Are you
playing.
so hardened about this because you were always the loser?
Apparently.
Is that what you're saying?
Apparently. I'm just having this realization right now.
And
Staring at the ocean.
you want what? You want him to get used to losing?
I want him to realize, bro, it's okay to, lose and win, but you play fair.
Yeah.
None of this, I'm not playing anymore, so I win. I changed my answer last second, so I win.
Right.
Fuck no. You don't. You didn't get it, it's fine. Lost fair and square. Plain and simple. Just like when you win, you will win fair and square. There ain't no cheating with it.
You guys got an interesting relationship. To say the least.
God. What is the thing that surprised you? Because you've hung out with Red and Enzo a good amount now.
Mm-hmm.
What's something that surprised you the most about either one of their ages or stages in the different times you've been here? I mean, you got pooped on. That's not surprising though.
Yeah. Yeah, I was in the house for 20 minutes?
Baby pooped all over you when he was a month old.
It was the first or second. I think it was the second trip.
Oh, yeah.
Because the first trip was he was 4 weeks old, and because he was still doing a bottle at that point.
At that point, he was.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Right? We were talking earlier today. He was like, do you think this next one's going to take a bottle? And I was like, if you remember correctly, he's like, I did feed Red a bottle the first trip out there.
Not the second.
Not the
ever
second.
since.
Never since. But the first trip, I did feed him a bottle. What do you think's been the most interesting thing, though?
Whatever truly seen, because that's why I wanted to make a point to come out and see the growth process of a child from start to
Finish.
Start to finish.
18 years later, I'll see you finish.
After 18, I'm not visiting every 4 months. Fuck it.
They're not as cute after that.
Right? He starts talking back, and I'm out. But it's been, we were talking earlier, like, Rhett was an ugly baby.
He was. He was an ugly newborn.
But just seeing the growth.
How much cuter he is now.
Yes. The curls on his hair.
He is cuter now. Thank God. I was worried there for a minute. I'm like, that ain't mine.
Oh, fuck. My DNA's fucked. I've been an ugly
Oh,
baby.
man, it really came through with this one.
I can't wait when he's older, like much older, to be like, by the way, you were an ugly fucking baby, and we all were concerned.
And he listens to these podcasts.
Right.
No shit. That moment when you realize that maybe the baby got switched at the hospital, and then you realize, oh wait, we did it in a birthing center and no one else was around.
They pulled him out from their sleeves. Gave me a new one.
So how much he's evolved has been surprising.
Yeah.
And like awesome. And you love his curls because they're adorable.
I mean, the kid's adorable regardless. Curls, no curls. The chubby cheeks, the smile.
A toothy grin.
The emotions that he
like
does
full,
watching TV.
Full body smile.
Yeah.
He smiles with his whole body. It is a full experience.
Well, and he recently just started running.
Yeah.
So
I call it his speed walking. He reminds me of those Olympians that do speed walking. Because he has like the fast hip rotation because he doesn't actually run yet. So his hips just do the rotation of like the really fast waddle. It makes me laugh so hard. And he gets real excited about it too sometimes.
he loves it.
He just takes off.
No reason. I don't know what I'm running for, but let's run!
The random squeals. I think those are some of my favorite too. It was like his random squeals he does right now.
What are we excited about now? Okay. It's like with the toys. He's more entertained with the lid for the box the toys came in than the toys themselves.
Yeah, he accidentally stepped on like the corner of it today,
he's done with
and it flipped up and smacked him in the face, and he fell into the table.
Oh god.
It was so funny. He freaked.
I'm sure. Dude hit hard earlier. You said you saw it like through the door.
Yeah.
He gave himself a bloody nose.
What did he trip on? His foot? The
I
ground?
don't even
I
know.
didn't see it. Yeah.
I saw him. He was over at the bathroom door. I could see him through it. He was just hitting it and then walked away and came. See a shadow come back. And
There's just so many differences between him and Enzo. Like, so many. It's like night and day.
Yeah.
I was thinking about like when Enzo gets hurt, like it's a whole thing.
Oh god.
And he gets so worked up.
And then he vomits.
Then he vomits. You know, Rhett, he falls down, he gets worked up, and then he stops breathing, and then comes back, and he's good.
He does stop breathing when he gets really worked up. I think you saw it once where I was like, breathe.
right, deep breath.
Because he'll be like,
if he gets that worked up, I blow in his face. I'm like,
Startle him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because he'll literally like just hold his breath because he'll be like mid cry and then like forget to inhale and then just kind of look around and then he finally is like,
oh shit, I gotta breathe.
Well, there's something today. You and I were sitting in the living room and he hit his head but didn't cry. He was fine. Then he got up and like a solid minute later he came over and just started bawling. I was like, oh, it just started hurting now? Okay.
Delayed reaction. He's like, no one's paying attention to me, so you know what? I'm gonna make up for it with that last.
Right, I can still
Head
use
bump.
this.
We still have time.
does it crack you up how much he like wants to be held now?
Oh yeah.
Like he wants to be held, but then he also wants to, like at other times he's totally fine to be independent.
Yeah.
But when he's in a mood of like, I want to be held, don't put me down.
Yeah. And that's as soon as you put him down, I'm like,
And he starts like clawing at you to try to like get you to pick him back up.
It's like a puppy that hits you. Like, stop! You stop petting me. Come on, pet me.
He was really good at dinner tonight.
Yeah, he is really good at dinner.
He didn't make a noise.
He got some
I
French
don't think
fries.
he didn't cry once. He just
He fussed. He
fussed
fussed
a little bit,
a tiny bit.
but other than that, he just hung out, and that was a long dinner. Like normally our
Yeah.
dinners don't take that long.
No, we were there like 2 hours, maybe
Me and you
more.
were like really good about
Get in, get out.
get in, get out.
At least they brought the French fries super quick for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was nice.
But yeah, I was like, we haven't even ordered our entrees yet. It's already been like an hour. I don't know how long he's gonna last. No, he crushed it. He did really good. I was impressed.
Yeah, it was just a lot to keep him busy too.
Yeah.
Every way he looked, he was always finding something new.
The crackers. It's like, these are great. Crackers in a package. Who knew?
And then I could take them out of the package to eat them?
Even better.
They're salty?
We're all hurriedly reading the ingredients. Is there any milk in this?
Right.
If you could take away anything from being around us, what would you take away that you could use in your own life?
That's a good question.
As like a parent one day?
Yeah.
Don't be a parent.
Wow.
Like I say, find the kids with the return policy. No, I'm just kidding.
Cut deep. Fuck.
That there's a...
Maybe we need to reevaluate.
They're going to edit this segment out. No, there's so much more to being a parent than what I thought. Because, like I said, this is the first time I've ever seen the process.
Yeah.
And...
It's exhausting.
Yeah, I mean, just
A lot of emotion.
seeing the difference from where you were at a year ago to where you're at now with him, and
You do
just
a
being,
lot of growing.
yeah,
You're forced to. You don't have a choice. You know, and
You've blossomed so beautifully into your role as his dad.
well, the first few weeks of his life were, first few months of his life were. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way, because he was just so ornery. He was just so screwed up with the milk thing, and the only comfort he could find was somewhat in you, and man, that was difficult. Those were difficult times with him. I'm glad he's come through that.
What do you think is like, you're saying there's so much more to it than you realize? Like, what are some things that you feel like maybe stood out to you?
Well, once you figured it out, the whole milk thing, like, okay, now, because he was sick for so long, and then you finally figured out that it was the dairy, and
Yeah.
okay, then you got to take everything dairy out, and then you got to change your life
Yo.
because
And
you're breastfeeding.
Naturally, the husband has to change his life
Yeah,
because he's
be
got to be
supportive.
supportive, otherwise he's an asshole.
So we snuck some cheese in the cheeseburger today for you,
You know.
but
Stomach will hate him later for it. It's fine.
It's already starting to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's so many things that I don't know. This last year has been a lot of ups and downs,
Yeah.
but it has taught me a lot of different things, and I'm very fortunate now because my bond with him is so much stronger than it was.
Mm-hmm.
But it was questionable there. It was kind of touch and go for a long time.
Like 3 months.
That
Not
was
a long time.
That was the longest 3 months of my life.
yeah, when your son didn't want to be consoled by you or anything,
It's tough.
Yeah.
to
Didn't want anything to do
sleeping
with
on
you.
you on the plane.
Right? To being comfortable enough to sleep on you. He wouldn't
Where
even
else-
sleep on me on the
Where else
plane.
did he? Remember, he did that when we flew to Hawaii.
Uh-huh.
He would sleep on me.
Yeah.
It's just that wider body, a little bit more cushion.
Don't have these boobs getting in the way.
I get distracted by them.
Right. I smell milk. I smell it.
I don't know if I'm tired or hungry. I don't know. It's just a lot.
Dad doesn't smell. Well, he does, but it's not milk smell.
It's comforting.
No, we've appreciated having you. It's given us some us time, and
Yeah, that's the point of me coming out.
I know he loves you to death. So that's great. We appreciate you coming out and hanging out with us.
Like, I just want you to realize, Rhett does not.
Take to everybody.
He is a joyous baby, but
Very skeptical.
Yeah.
highly skeptical baby.
You should see him around my mom.
Or Amy, or...
Yeah, Amy, she tried to pick him up, and he started crying. Just started crying, and he ran over to me.
like, beelined him. She put him down, and he bolted, like, did his run. I think it was probably the first time he did the run. Dad! Save me!
He just knows you better, I think. He knows you.
I think he senses, like... So, like, Cree, like, for you, you didn't really get to know Chris a ton before Rhett was born. Because, like, we lived on opposite sides of the country. Like, you'd heard about my cousin. You'd heard, like, my cousin and I were close. But, like, you didn't really know him. You knew the majority of my family's fucked. But I think it also is because of, like, how comfortable you are with Chris. And how comfortable I am with him. Like, Rhett senses that from us.
Yeah.
And senses, like, oh, Chris is a safe person because...
I'm probably more comfortable with Chris than I am with my own sister.
Oh, God, yes. I would agree. 110%. I feel like you're more you around him.
Yeah.
Like, you're more relaxed. You're more at ease.
Yeah, my family keeps me up on... Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you, Chris. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
You're very calming. And our baby senses that we are calm around you. And therefore...
Good babies.
Is very into you.
Maybe your milk smells good. I don't know.
There was that... It was the first or second trip out that he started, like, just trying to suck on my shirt. Like, that, we got nothing here, bud. Sorry. Let me pass you over to Mom.
Rhett was like, I don't even know how old he was, but we were in bed and you have a shirt on. And Rhett, like, looked at your nipple and was like, that looks tasty.
Yeah, I'm a little bit hairier, so...
And, like, tried to, like, you know,
Somebody
like...
got a mouthful of hair. He wasn't too happy about it.
He was like, nope, nope.
Mom, when did you change this?
This doesn't actually have the milk smell and there's hair. What the hell?
I don't know, parenting, it's just... You gotta take the good with the bad. I don't know, I've been enjoying this trip, though. The last few months with him has been great. Because he's been really good.
Yeah. Little temper tantrums, but he's so funny. So if I, like, really hardcore tell him, like, no, and he, like, won't do something, like, that he was gonna go do, like, he technically obeyed. But he gets so distraught about it. Like, I hate the fact that I couldn't do what I wanted. And will come running over to me to comfort him. And so when I comfort him and try to tell him, like, good job, like, you listened. Way to be a good listener, bud. I'm so proud of you. And, like, try to comfort him, but, like, give the words of encouragement. But sometimes he just looks at me like... He's like, I'm so confused. You're telling me no. Bye, Felicia. He's like, you're telling me no, but then at the same time, you're, like, telling me you're proud of me. I don't understand.
This is so confusing for my little brain.
Right?
Do I do this? Do I not do this?
It just makes me laugh every time.
Well, he's so interested in everything. Has to touch everything, like the electrical outlets.
Yes.
In the plate in his room the other day, on the tool chest.
Yep. I want to stick my finger in the hole in the electrical outlet. It'll fit right. Let me chew this cord real quick then. Yeah.
Always, never.
Yep. Oh, child. Well, thanks for being our guest speaker on the show today. Yeah. You're our first guest speaker.
Do I get, like, a medal or plaque?
You get a participation award.
Oh, right. Participation award.
Everyone goes home with a trophy.
I'll send a picture with Enzo.
Thanks. Thanks, everybody, for listening. We hope you enjoy, and we'll talk with you next week.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. You can check us out at
freezermilk.com
or Instagram.
Freezer Milk Podcast.
Until next week, guys. Thanks.
Don't forget, parenting is a trip. We are all here on the journey with you together. Thanks so much for listening.